Hello YouTube family, this is Farmhouse of IT. Let's start the video. Blue teaming, the cybersecurity equivalent of herding cats. Your job is to stop attackers, prevent breaches, and somehow still get blamed when Carl from accounting clicks on a phishing email offering free Bitcoin. You missed the Bitcoin rush, Carl. Stop. You're the first line of defense against APTs, script kiddies, and Steve in DevOps who insists he needs local admin rights to install Notepad++. This isn't just cybersecurity, it's digital janitorial work, except the mess is ransomware and the mop is an overworked CM. Security analysts or SOC analysts, or whatever the heck you want to call them. Analysts, your CM is your best friend and worst enemy. It alerts you to actual cyber threats, but mostly false positives. 1 million logs per second generating hundreds of alerts, absolutely no alert tuning done to reduce the noise. And the one alert that actually matters gets buried under 300 failed RDP login attempts from Bob's old laptop. Good luck. You're constantly on edge waiting for that one real incident. When something major finally happens, you're called in the middle of the night. You spring into action in your underwear, digging through logs, correlating events, tracking and tracing the attack kill chain like a cyber ninja. You contain, remediate, close out the alert because you're amazing at your job, and shut your laptop to go back to bed, only to have your boss ping you and ask, "Can you summarize this in a PowerPoint for tomorrow?" Sure, Steve, let me take this complex forensic investigation and turn it into a pie chart. The 2 a.m. incident response call. There's nothing like waking up to a high-priority security incident in the middle of the night. Option A, it's a real attack and your week is ruined. Option B, it's another false alarm and your week is still ruined. Either way, you'll be dangerously caffeinated while explaining to executives why we're under attack isn't something they should announce to everyone before you've confirmed anything. The joy of alert fatigue. Your job involves identifying real threats amongst a sea of useless alerts. Everything is a critical severity alert until it isn't. Yeah, there are multiple severities of alerts, but your boss wants you to look at them all. Failed login attempt? Meh. 20 failed login attempts? Probably an intern. 200 failed login attempts? Oh, okay, that's weird. 2,000 failed login attempts? It's not just brute force attempts either. Sometimes you spend 6 hours analyzing a potential breach just to realize the attacker is a misconfigured printer. Ooh, spooky. Speaking of false positive alert fatigue, today's sponsor TryHackMe can help with that. If you're looking to improve your response time and identify false positives quicker, you're in luck. TryHackMe offers comprehensive blue teaming education with easy-to-follow learning modules, a SOC simulator, and they've recently created and launched their Security Analyst Level 1 professional certification. This will not only help you identify those false positives faster, but also teach you how to address the more important true positives quicker and more effectively. Nothing worse than missing something in a true positive alert and closing it out as remediated. Whether you're a complete beginner or a seasoned vet, try Hack. Me can help you improve your blue teaming skills in a fun, gamified way. So check out TryHackMe in the description below and level up your skills. Alert tuning, the never-ending struggle. You finally configure your SIM to filter out junk alerts. Now it's time for fine-tuning. Too many alerts? False positives? Too few alerts? Oh no, false negatives. Just the right amount? Good one. Threat hunting, playing cybersecurity Sherlock Holmes. Threat hunting sounds exciting. In reality, it's parsing through endless PowerShell logs at 2 a.m. because someone ran a PowerShell script named invoke mimikatz on a production server. Who would do that? The bored intern? You carefully analyze network traffic, check for unusual behavior, and discover users love sending sensitive data over email, despite the mandatory security training. Your DLP policy still in the works? That stuff's hard to configure. Tagging, classification, ain't nobody got time for that. And just when you find an IOC in your environment that leads you to find a critical vulnerability, you proudly report it, only for management to say, "We'll address this next quarter." Fantastic. I'll just wait for the compromise so I can say, "I told you so." Digital forensics and incident response. There's a legit intrusion, but the analysts aren't paid enough to know how to do a deep dive. It's time to dig deep and initiate the HIT, the FAN team. You start with memory forensics. pulling volatile data before it disappears. You analyze disk images, comb through event logs, and try to reverse engineer whatever malicious payload landed on the server. Here's pretty much all DFIR playbooks. Step 1. Capture volatile memory before everyone's urge to reboot everything kicks in. Step 2. Identify the initial attack vector. Was it phishing, RDP brute force, a 0-day? Step 3. Find any and all persistence mechanisms, registry keys, scheduled tasks, DLL hijacking. There's got to be something, and you can't sleep until you check everything. Step 4. Write a full report that no one except another DFIR person will ever understand. Step 5. Vent to your spouse about it so you don't have a mental breakdown. Security configurations, patching, and vulnerability management. The eternal battle. You preach patching and updates like a cyber prophet, screaming, "It's not if, it's when," yet somehow no one listens. Hey, we need to patch this critical vulnerability. Can we do it next year? This unpatched server is a security risk, but it's a legacy system. We don't want to break it. Log4j vulnerabilities being actively exploited. What's Log4j? It's 2025, and you inevitably still have systems running Windows 7 somewhere. You're basically a digital firefighter, except instead of putting out flames, you're trying to patch or mitigate risk on EOL software that should have been decommissioned in 2012. You try your best to enforce security policies, but users and upper management fight you every step of the way. Why did you disable macros? Because when we allowed them, the org got ransomware. Can we whitelist this? Absolutely not. The great MFA debate. Why do I have to use multi-factor authentication? Because you reuse password 234 for everything, Carl. Atypical impossible travel, and all unfamiliar sign-ins are auto-closed alerts if the user has MFA satisfied, right? Nope, because man-in-the-middle and MFA session hijacking is a thing. Going to need a few more configurations to address those attacks. Blue teaming versus red teaming. Red teamers get all the glory. They get to be the cool hackers with their fancy tools and exploits. Meanwhile, blue teamers are basically digital janitors, cleaning up their mess. No respect. Red team bypassed your defenses and exfiltrated your data. Blue team, we detected you, blocked you, and fixed the whole breach. Meanwhile, management, can we get another pen test, please? Seriously. Security awareness training. Teaching users not to click things because no matter how many times you train people not to click things, they click things. No amount of fancy tools or hardened systems will stop the inevitable malicious URL clicked alerts you'll be getting. You host phishing simulations to train employees, but instead of learning, they get mad at you. Why would you deliberately trick us? Because real attackers do it, Karen. Why do we have to do this every quarter? Because when it was yearly, our rate of account compromise quadrupled, Karen. But it looks so real. That's the point. Salary. Let's talk money because at the back of every cybersecurity professional's mind is the thought, can I get paid more for this somewhere else? Blue team salaries can be solid, but they often lag behind the red team, threat researchers, and those elusive cloud security architects living in New York penthouse condos. Not to mention GRC folks getting paid more for basically being cyber accountants. AI is coming for your job. Not exactly, but man, is it complicated. Every vendor is pushing some AI-powered security tool that promises to replace analysts. But in reality, it just generates more alerts you have to review and more configuration headaches your security engineers have to bang their heads against. To stay ahead, you can't just stay complacent as a SOC analyst anymore. You basically have to become a mini security engineer. You have to understand a bit of coding, automation, cloud security, and DevOps just to stay relevant. In 2010, blue teaming was all about firewall rules and antivirus signatures. Now it's keeping up with the latest and greatest query languages. XDR, pulling telemetry from all the things, behavior analytics, machine learning mixed with AI, confusing everyone and reverse engineering malware in your spare time. Burnout, the final boss of blue teaming. The job is relentless. You fix vulnerabilities, fight off attackers, drown in alerts, and when you finally take a vacation, boom, breach. Can you hop on this bridge? Cybersecurity is a thankless job. If you do it right, nothing happens. If you miss one thing, everything's on fire. But despite the stress, the 2 a.m. wake-up calls and Carl's refusal to stop clicking things, you love the chaos. Because at the end of the day, you want to be the last line of defense needed. And let's be real, without people like Carl, the blue team wouldn't exist when you play.